Hey everybody, my name is Phyllis Y. Whitley. Happy New Year! If you have been spiritually victimized and traumatized, welcome to Spiritology Live, where I bring my #1 Amazon book to life. Each episode will be a raw, spiritual, metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness for self-healing as you learn how to break your religious shackles so you can manifest and master your promised land today. Let's go. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year's 2023. We've been talking about New Year's resolution, how to make it successful, how to manifest, how to get rid of the old. It's just revision in there. Some of my titles will reflect it. But basically, this is part 3. We went over the old resolutions that normally less than 50% fail. We went over exercise, quit smoking, spending time with your family. We went over all of that. In part 2, we broke it down and changed it to tell you the things that you want to first revise your words in order for those old resolutions can be revised so they can manifest. We also went into quarterlies. You're going to break down your goals, anywhere from 3 to 5 goals. You want to make it plain. Why? Because this is based off Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain on a tablet that he may run who reads it. Who? The angels are going to go run with it and it will not return into you void. Didn't your God say that? Mine's did. So for those who say, is this in the Bible? Yes, it is. First of all, we're going to jump right in. I told you how to revise whatever you do, for instance, exercise. You're going to revise it to movement. Your exercises in your house. One of the things I didn't mention, I'm going to mention in this particular part 3, if I forgot anything. You're going to change your house into a gym. And what I mean by that is whatever you need is sitting in that house. If you have old equipment that you literally know you're not going to use, give it the gift of giving. Bless somebody with it. Go to Salvation Army. And if it's one that you say, oh, I got to have this. I got to have this stationary bike. Keep it. Meanwhile, if you have staircase, we talked about that. Use your staircase as exercise. Build the knees and your joints and stuff like that. You're going to go order something online. And I bet you most of you, and I'm speaking again in the Black community, probably have some dumbbells or something around that you can use. The other thing is, if you don't have that, go into your cabinet and use your canned vegetables, and that literally you can sit down. And this is something that's good for your grandmothers and those who are over 40. Use those for exercise. We discuss how all of those old habits are just your flesh having a ball because you didn't get your spiritual man in check. So you have to get your spiritual man in check. We talked about it is literally, we went from New Year's resolution to New You revelation. Okay. And that is I gave you some guides on that. If you missed it, go back to part 1 and part 2. And the reason why we're doing all of this is because we want you to make this a lifestyle. We don't want this to be a one-trick pony because it's not going to work. Now, part 3, literally, it says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. John 15:5, King James Version. You notice he said nothing. Nothing. Well, I went over last time, and I remember I don't recall giving you the scripture that I had on that one. But I am going to bring that one over to this one. First, I'm going to go and talk about nothing. You can't do nothing without God. You can't do it. So this episode is really giving you the manifestation piece. I told you why In part one, part two, I gave you some revision. Part three, I'm going to give you the source behind everything. Your angels can't run with it if you don't have a relationship with God. This is not a sermon. This is a revelation. It's the reason why you have some of the best motivational speakers in Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich, continues to be number one. And he have long passed. A lot of the old mystics passed, but their book and their material, even on YouTube, have continued. Because I'm going to tell you, they know who the source is. Rockefeller was one of the richest men in all his family, and his name is still, it sounds rich because he did one thing. He tithed. He made God first. Well, Miss P, how do you do all of that? I go to church. I don't care if you go to church 7 days a week. If you don't have, let's get it straight, you must have a relationship with God. Going to church is your relationship between you and your pastor. But I'm not saying you can't go to the building, because he said the building is come together and fellowship. But when you come together, and then you come together, hopefully because your pastor's giving you the word. And if he's giving you the word, that's something that you can plant. You can plant that seed into you, and this should manifest. But what happened when you go to church and you're not manifesting nothing, especially when the New Year's coming? What happened? He said you can't do nothing. I don't care how much you write down your goals. First of all, it have to be written. We talked about that. It have to be written. But the angels, what angels? You better know who God is. Well, Miss P, what can I do? Well, first of all, you're going to learn it. What we're going to go back in, and you're going to develop a relationship and maintain a relationship, and then you're going to increase that relationship all through the months. By the time you get to the end of the year, your prayer should have been 5 minutes, and increase it. These are the realistic goals you want to do. I said anywhere from you're going to get a journal, whatever you want to do, write in a Word, type in a Word doc. You're going to literally have to write it down. And one of the goals you want to do is you want to definitely put down there your time spent with God. I guarantee you, here's the secret. If you start putting down things that you want to do to enhance your relationship with God, God will take those goals and he will make it come to pass. Hello? See, because if you notice earlier, I said you have to control your gluttony spirit, over smoking spirit, lazy spirit. But you can't control it because the flesh and the spirit are at war. It's in my book. But we only going to talk about dessert here. Miss P, how do I get my spiritual man to get stronger? Let's see. Your spiritual man gets stronger as you continue your relationship with God. How do you have a relationship when you first meet that girl or that boy, or when you was young, or maybe that man or that woman, and you go into the dating scene and you say, this is the one, I like this one. In order to have or build a relationship, time have to be spent. Suppose you meet them on a day and they say, I really, really like you, but you don't hear from them again until 6 months. This is what you're doing to God. This is what most of y'all are doing to God. You literally have to build a relationship. You go from talking to the person once a week to twice a week to 5 days a week. Next minute, they calling you every day. Then they calling you morning, noon, and night. Yes, you can do this with God. Well, Miss P, that's a person. But let me tell you something. If you don't have that relationship with God, you be the first one to call me and every other counselor out there or mentor out there saying, I mean, could you pray for me? Why should we have to pray for you? But you didn't even know what prayer looked like when you was dealing with this particular man or woman. You spending all your time with them. And you go to God for 3 minutes. but you sat on the phone with them for 3 hours. If you get what you need right with God, everything else will come because he will send the right people to you. You will attract. You remember that law of attraction? They will come, but this is the work you have to put in. Build up your relationship with him and then go revise those goals. Remember exercise and all of that, investment. You change the tone, the wording in, for instance, like exercise to movement. You take it slow. I have seen people time and time again join the gym, exercise. I'm going there 3 times a week. I'm going there 5 times a week because the people tell you that because they soup you up. They know you coming in there and you're going to pay all the money to the gym and they get a good commission. So you come walking in there, running in there, sweating, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And next month, your flesh said, honey, now why don't you stop this? This is not you. That's why you understand this is why I call this the new you. The new you is going to make this a lifestyle. Your lifestyle first start with God. Now, when you literally go to God and you build that relationship, you don't want, like, you go to the gym January every other day. When February get here, you are tired, you lost 5 pounds and you are done for the whole year. No, you want to build those muscles with God. How do you get to know him? You need to get into his manuscript. I know you say, well, you say this all the time. I'm saying it all the time so it can sink in your subconscious mind. You want to go ahead and build your relationship. Well, first of all, you can build it by prayer. Go from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And you can do it 3 days a week. I have a prayer. I literally have a prayer line, and you are invited if you want to come. But you literally can go and pray and let that be your whole area. I also said make a space. I said it many, many times for your meditation. See, Christians are afraid of meditation. They think that's Buddha. But do you know your friends that are Buddha and all of that other stuff? You notice that they are advancing in their life? Same God, different technique. Now, I'm not talking about who they look at. Now, some people look at a statue and think that's God. No. God knows that. He laugh at that and say, okay, I understand. You're really talking to me, but I understand that they taught you this. You don't know no better. With that being said, they have a meditation area. Christians don't have meditation. All through the Bible, if you read it, it's all about meditation. Meditation is so many things you can do with meditation. If you don't know, you need to get in contact with me. Meanwhile, meditation can start with songs. You know, it can start with your grandmother or your mother, well, probably your great-grandmother, your grandmother. You can start with the scripture they love, that Psalms 23, sorry. And your favorite scripture. Mine is, as a man's thinking, so is he. As he thinking in his heart. That's who you're going to be. So it reminds me, take one little scripture quote and meditate on it. Have a room for meditation. Tell your kids, listen, this is for me. Let a corner in your room just be for you, where you read in one page, one quote, one scripture to the book. By the next, have that, by the end of the year, you read the whole book. You read the whole Old Testament. So you understand what I'm trying to say? It is 100 things you can do to develop your relationship with God. Talk to him with nature. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about walking your dog and let that be an exercise to you. We talked about going up and down the stairs in your house. The little things in your house that can be used as equipment waste is the canned goods. The other thing we didn't talk about was fasting. You really want to go ahead and do some type of fast, even if it's a liquid fast. But if you are someone who need to consult your doctor because you are on medication, be careful with that. You want to consult them and tell them, I'm going to take a little fast. Do a little fast for your fast can be morning. I'm going to do a morning fast and just drink. I wouldn't say fruit. If you got high blood pressure, you don't want to do that. If you're diabetic, you don't want to do that. Excuse me, you don't want to drink the fruits, but you literally want to drink something. It's all online. What is going to be good for you, but it's also going to be safe for your condition until it improve. And you might find your condition improve. Uh, some of you, I have said you could drink a cucumber water, lemon water, lime water. And with that being said, that can just be your fasting. You can do it for hours, or you can do it 1 day or 2 days or whatever. Everything you need to know is on the website. Hello. These are things that's going to get you closer to God. And let that be your goal setting. And then you can go ahead and put in there realistic goals for investing money. If you do the things of movement with exercise, you will find that when you revise some of those words, that you're not trying to lose weight. You will find that your clothes are just like, wait, I can't fit this anymore, because it becomes a lifestyle. The other thing I have talked about in many of my episodes was, well, Miss P, I know a lot of y'all say that sounds easy and done with. But you ever heard of them saying get a partner? They tell you that in gym, somebody to hold you accountable. You need to go get a coach, a mentor to hold you accountable. Well, where's that in the Bible, Miss P? Everything's in Proverbs. Let's look at Proverbs 1:5. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. You need the wise counsel. And it's going to, you notice he said a man increase learning. Literally, how do you increase it? Through your ear gate. Read the newspaper, read some good magazines, read online, read stuff that is you're going to digest. Remember, you're going to reap it later, so make sure you're digesting some good news, gospel. The other thing that I wanted to touch base, lastly, you know how to do everything, and I want you to go ahead and make 3 to 5, and then buy yourself something each month. You can buy yourself a rose or something, give yourself something special for accomplishing whatever goal you had that morning or that day. You know, and you will find yourself 3 months went by, next 3 months, and you just carry that with you. At the end of the 3 months, you should have said, you should be different, more comfortable. You should be comfortable walking up the stairs. You'd be comfortable parked a little bit farther from the train station or the mall. You should be at a point where your health is improving and you become wealthy and healthy, and even in your finances, you're going to save a little bit of here and there. But like I said, with Rockefeller, the first thing you want to do when you pray, you want to put on top tithing. You start giving to a charitable organization. A lot of y'all say, I don't want to give it to the pulpit pimps. That's, if you don't see it, you can give it to cancer research. You can take your money and feed the hungry. You can give it to whomever. You can give it to your pastor around the corner, to your mentor, whoever's giving you and feeding you spiritual food. You want to go ahead and sow into their grounds. And I guarantee you, once you do that with the ties and then start a relationship, all that other stuff you got written down, you'd be like, it'll just be happening because he will connect you with the right people. Now, one of the scriptures that I meant to go ahead and give you before, and everything happened for a reason, is this one. It's in Isaiah 45:11. It's called, Ask me of the things to come concerning my sons and concerning the work of my hand, and you command me. God is telling you, command him. Write it down, make it plain. Okay? Because when you make it plain, you literally, the angels are going to roll with it, but he said, command me you. You literally are saying, you're prophesizing to yourself. He is where? He is a spirit. So when you prophesy, your word is not going to return into you void. You understand? And you're going to speak the word with commandment. Okay? And those words that you're going to speak is going to be good news unto you and your household. But first, you're going to make everything a lifestyle. We are going to end this with the biggest revelation. It is self-cleanse, self-love, and self-care. In those 3 topics, you can go ahead and branch out what goals you're going to do for that. Because at the end of the day, once you develop that relationship with God, then you have to fix you. So those of you who say, oh my goodness, my boss is getting on my nerve, my family getting on my nerve, I can't seem to meet the right man or woman, you're going to fix you. You're going to fall in love with you. You're going to cleanse yourself, your spiritual self, mentally, and then physically. And then what happens is those self is in the spiritual realm, and you are building your spiritual man. When you take those 3 headings quarterly and you put your goals anywhere from 3 to 5 per month, you're going to find out that you can't lose, and you won't depend on nobody to make it right. Because number 1, yes, you need people to be blessed. God bless you through people. He will be in charge of bringing back and returning into you your word, pressed down, great measure. Your cup will run over. And then you'll be able to live in your promised land. You understand? There's nothing you can do without him. If you are suffering, if you lack in any area, what I have given you is a revelation that can master and manifest your promised land along with your children. You're going to leave a legacy. Happy New Year. If you have any questions, phylliswhitley.com. I want you to remember something. Is loving yourself is right. Why would you want to be wrong?